nobody tells us this stuff. Nobody says like, you are, you think that everybody else is an idiot, but actually that's your own stuff, right?
Right.
And I posted on Instagram the other day because I was listening to, I don't know, do you know who Gary Zukov is?
Gary Zukov.
He
No,
wrote the book, The Seed of the Soul.
I
Have
have
you read
not.
this book?
No.
Oh,
Should
this
I?
book is a life changer. Oh my God.
Let me
It's
grab a
like,
pen.
yeah. So he was talking about, what did he say? Everything is returned to sender, right?
Right.
So like everything that's going on for you is like, that finger that's pointing back at you, return to you. Like you are the thing. It's not out there. It's you. Oh, this thing happened. Nope. Still you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
This other thing happened. Nope. That's you. That's all you, your experience, your filters, your lenses,
Mm-hmm.
and we love to just say, oh, well, that person did this and made me feel this way and all that. But actually it's still you.
I love that.
Yeah. I love that too.
Oh man.
So yeah, it's, and I talk to a lot of people about relationships, they're like, I want to find the love of my life and I want, and I think, what are you doing to create that environment in you? Right? Like we love to write the list about who that fantastic person's going to be. And my first thing is, who are you going to be in that relationship? And why don't you nurture that now and become that person? Because that's the person that will attract that list
Mm-hmm.
of wonderful things. Right.
Right. I actually just read that somewhere where it was like, you can write a list of the perfect partner for you, but are you living up to that standard yourself? Because a lot of us aren't. I know when I wasn't, when I was originally like, oh, I just want to meet someone. And then I'd write down what I wanted in a partner. I was like, I don't need any of this. Like, that's not me. So why do I expect people like that to want to be with a person like that? It's
The other big misnomer is this idea that two halves come together to make a whole. That's BS. The reality is you come whole, you
right.
as a person come whole. You work on this relationship here, and that other one is coming regardless. You don't even have to ask too much.
Right.
Because when you become that high vibrational and you got all the goods, that person is around the corner. Any moment you're going to meet that person.
Right.
So it's not concentrating on the other person. It's like, how do I become that solid individual? How do I, feel so good in me and become so whole in me that I don't need the other person to fill anything. It's just a partner to experience this life with.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's not, I don't need you to make me feel better about me because I feel good about me without you.
Right.
I don't need any of, I don't need whatever you think you've got or whatever I think you might have, and it changes the game in terms of, what you're attracted to too, and what's attracted to you, right? Because we have these patterns. So we're in relationship one way. That's across the board, friendships, romantically, family, right? And these are the things that we're always trying to get over, right? Is our relationship with our families.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that relationship is sort of what, dictated the relationships that you have moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
We also don't take the time to look at those relationships and go, oh, I'm like this in my family. That's actually showing up in other areas of my life as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not any different. It's exactly the same because we only know how to be in relationship one way, which was how we were taught.
Right.
And so that's another sort of undoing that happens too, when you get clear on, what does that relationship look like, feel like, seem like, and who is that person? Then you go again, return to sender. How am I going to be those things? How am I going to do relationships differently? And then guess what happens is you attract different people when you become that whole person. You attract whole people. You don't attract the, crazy relationships and and you recognize them quicker if you do attract them, and you start to go, oh yeah, that feels very much like this other relationship I had that didn't turn out well.
Right. Yeah. And then if you don't acknowledge that and you just move to the next one, you start to become like dependent because you're not happy with who you are. So you're like, oh, being with this person will make me happy. And then you get dependent. And that just gets so messy.
Well, and the thing is when you're whole, then you have solid boundaries in place
Mm,
because you know who you are and what's acceptable for you, and you don't allow that. What I see often happen is, people will come to me and they'll tell me these crazy stories about the relationship they're in, and I'll just go like, in my mind, I think to myself, if you heard somebody tell this story to you, right? You would go, that's whack.
yeah. Yeah.
Like that is not right.
Right.
Right. But they can't see it because what happens is relationships are sneaky, right?
Mm,
That it doesn't all, that ending point where it was all weird and crazy, it didn't get there just like that, right? There was a series of little things that happened along the way where you allowed things to happen. And when you are whole in you and you have a boundary set, and this is not a boundary to keep people out, this is a boundary where you completely understand who you are and the kind of life that you would like to live and the kind of people that you would like to spend your time around.
mm,
Not judging, not better, worse, whatever. I don't believe in those things, good, bad. Um, it creates a different kind of relationship that allows people to be fully them, and you get to be fully you regardless. It doesn't say, hey, I have a boundary there. It's not, I mean, I hear people say that and act that way. That's not the kind of boundaries I'm talking about. I'm talking about you having a deep understanding of yourself internally so that you can understand when people are treading, because boundaries is a huge deal and it's not always real obvious
mm-hmm.
when a boundary is being uh, overrun, or it's not just the obvious ones where it's like, oh, you just treated me like a doormat. It's more sneaky than that, and so having awareness around that is super important as well.